सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम शन्नो मित्र शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्नो इंद्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मावतु तद्वक्तारम् अवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we were at a verse which was talking about the final sheath, which is the Anandamaya Kosha, and that was beyond the Vijnanamaya or intellect sheath. And then we talked about, I had discussed everything, that how this Anandamaya Kosha is, the Pratishtha is actually Brahman only. Udhar se hi sara joy aaya hai. Magar when it is in the world, we call it Priya, Mod and Pramod. उसमें 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दिया, बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ वी एक्सपीरियंस. जितने भी जॉयज है ना दुनिया में, वो 3 कैटेगरी में आ सकते हैं. जस्ट लाइक when we have sorrows, they have categorized into 3 different sorrows. Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik and Adi Devik. Same way here they have made it 3. So just a broad category. And when we read it, basically saying that when you are contemplating upon a object, then you get some happiness. When you want something, just thinking about it makes you happy. So that's a smaller happiness. When that thing gets closer to us, sitting next to me, I get a little more joy. Oh, mere paas hai, and usko mod bola hai. And pramod is when I indulge in that, when I experience that usse aur bhi joy aata hai. But to know, as a Vedantin, to know that all joys are coming from that Brahman only. To go to that source is our main idea. And that's what the whole journey is for us also. Knowing the self means knowing that such Chit Anand and staying in that. Then the worldly thing don't disturb us. But that's a little far away. Right now we are just studying about Anandamaya Kosha. So that's where we are. Okay, any volunteers to read? Meena ji or Sushil ji, either one of you can read, whoever wants to.
Meena can read.
Okay.
I can read.
Okay, fine. Naresh ji wants to read. Go for it, Naresh ji.
So it's the page 190, right?
It's starting from off the former. Is that what you have?
That of the former. This one verily is embodied self. Different from this self made up of intellect, Vijnanamaya is another self within the form of bliss, Anandamaya. By this, there is filled by Anandamaya, the Vijnanamaya is full. It also has the shape of man. According to the human form of that is human form of this, of it, joy. The Priya is the right side, rejoicing, Moda is the left side, and bliss, Pramoda is the trunk. Brahman is the tail support. There is this following Vedika verse about it.
So basically all it's trying to say is that there is another layer within us, and it is the same shape, and this is just to make us understand. Okay, that they have just made it because we understand about the head, right side, left side, trunk, and the base. So they're just describing it for our understanding. That's all it is.
As before, we are told that deeper within the intellectual sheath, filling it up entirely and fully is the subtlest.
इसको बोलते हैं subtlest. Be silent.
The mirror envelopments called the bliss sheath. This is constituted of all the flickering joys that we are experiencing, that we experience in our context with the finite world of matter when the sense organ come to live them. All those joys put together form the subtlest of sheaths. In life, our existence is conditioned by our joys also, just as the body and its condition limit our personality, just as the mind and the intellect and their health condition our egocentric existence, so too our share of joys in life adds its color into our individual existence.
So basically what it's trying to say, first we all understood, right? This is the innermost sheath, the bliss. That's why this is closest to God it is. Because that's where, from God is the bliss sheath, and from bliss sheath we get all this happiness. And then these are conditioned happiness, but this is also defines our personality. बोलते हैं ना, किसी को कम जॉय होता है, किसी को ज़्यादा होता है. कोई बोला कि मैं तो एकदम दुखी राम हूँ, मेरे को तो कभी जॉय, ऐसा वो झूठी बोल रहा है. कभी ना कभी तो उसको थोड़ा आनंद आया होगा, कुछ खाने पीने में आया होगा, किसी कुछ देखने में आया होगा, कुछ तो आया होगा. Everybody has this आनंद somewhere, you know. So it's just saying that, but it limits our personality because so far we don't know the source of it and we have not connected with the source. So limitation may be, और ये जो seemingly world of objects do give us आनंद. कोई बोलता है कि, कौन बोलता है कि दुनिया में आनंद नहीं है, मेरे को तो बहुत मजा आता है पार्टी में, ये वो तो है आनंद, कौन बोल रहा नहीं है, लेकिन वो लास्ट नहीं करता है बस, और वो दुख में परिवर्तित हो जाता है. That's the only problem, you know.
The joys that we experience in life arise from an endless variety of sources, and it would have been the spare of any people in the world to tabulate them all. But the rishis of old could do so. Not only did they bring into their classification all the joys experienced by an individual, but they classified under 3 headings all the possibilities for enjoyment of all living creatures in the universe.
So they are just saying that in the world कहाँ से joy मिलता है ना, उसकी इतनी varieties हैं कि कोई बोलेगा how do I bring it in some kind of क्या बोलते हैं categories. It's not possible. क्योंकि ये ग्रुप में भी देख लो, हम लोग 15 लोग हैं, सबका joy का source अलग अलग होएगा. किसी को किसी चीज में मजा आता है, किसी को किसी चीज में. So we can't tabulate like that. But उन्होंने category बना दी. तो अब ये category देखना इतनी scientific है, कोई भी joy ले लो वो इसमें से fit हो जाएगा इस category में. You know, that's what they're trying to say. They did classify.
This they could achieve by classifying all the circumstances under 3 stages in the relationship between conducive sense objects and their enjoyer. There is a kind of happiness when an individual is mentally brooding over a sense object, which to him is a source of happiness. Thus, when the object of love is absent, the lover enjoys it through contemplation. The joys thus experienced in the contemplation of the loving object is the term in Sanskrit as priya, which we are compelled to translate as joy.
Sometimes it's hard to translate, you know. The word priya means जो चीज मुझे अच्छी लगती है. तो यहाँ पर उन्होंने एक example दे दिया कि, you know, 2 people are in love, but they are still not together yet, हाँ? अपना अपना टाइम याद कर लो, जब आपकी शादी वादी पक्की हो गई थी, तो how you were thinking about your spouse or something, you know. So when you're thinking, it gives you joy. That's priya. That's all it's saying. तो कोई भी object हो सकता है. If I like something to eat, you know, I like this particular food and I don't have in front of me, but I'm thinking about it, you know. I like dosa, so you know, my sister made the dosa for me, and oh, she'll be making, and I'm thinking, and I'm feeling happy. That's what it is, you know.
When the object of love is very near the lover, the enjoyment at the vicinity of the enjoyable is certainly better than the delight gained in the more contemplation of it. This joy, which is subtler and greater than priya, is termed as moda, which we have translated as rejoicing.
So it's kind of mere contemplation. में खाली सोचने से इतना नहीं मजा आएगा कि वो चीज सामने होनी चाहिए. Okay? Like, you know, when 2 people love each other, I'm thinking about each other, but the person is sitting right next to you, you know, then you get more joy. That's what I'm saying. Or the object that you want so badly, I want a new car, I've been thinking about it, but now it's in my driveway. So, hey, now I have more joy. You know, that's what, usko mod bola hai, mod.
Or maybe I have sorrow because I paid too much for it.
That's a whole different ball game. That's why, when you want to enjoy some object, it has to be your desire, affordability, and availability. Because you can have a desire and afford it, but if it's not available, again, there's a problem. So I can put those three categories.
When the beloved object is not only near the beloved, but he actually comes to indulge in the enjoyment of the object, the joy arising out of this actual experiencing is termed as pramoda, and we translate it as bliss.
So now he's saying third level of happiness. अभी कार के एग्जाम्पल में पहले मैंने सोचा था तो मुझे हैप्पीनेस मिली, फिर मैं लेके आई, फिर मेरे कार is on my driveway. Now I'm sitting there and driving and trying to show off that, speeding and all that. And finally, when I get a ticket, then again, I'll have sorrow. But, how teenagers, kitna unko car, hum log bhi the, wo was like, right now, you just need 4 wheels to get somewhere which works. You don't care what it is. But at one time, the other thing gave us a lot of joy. So that's what it is.
मीना जी, आपने पढ़ना actually अभी और एक पेज और बाकी है अभी.
Meena ji, yeah, you go ahead. Yeah. And the time is up, but we can, if you guys can stay another 10 minutes, we can finish it.
Yeah,
पढ़िए मीना जी आप.
I think वो थक गए हैं, आप पढ़ लो मीना जी.
Okay. As an example, a lover, when he is contemplating upon the beauty of the form, the nobility of the heart, and the delicacy of sentiments of his beloved, his joys are termed as priya. When he is meeting her in secret hour of love in the actual vicinity of the true throbbing heart, the joy that arises is called moda. And when the same loving couple comes to live in mutual embrace, the pleasure derived from that fleshy enjoyment is termed as pramoda. We translate it as bliss. Under these classifications, all enjoyment of sense objects can be marshaled in these three, being the source of all our joys.
So we saw this example, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can go next.
In describing the Anandamaya, the Rishi therefore explains that Priya is its head, and Moda and Pramoda are the two sides. In all these three sources of joy, the common vital content is but the sense of satisfying delight, and this fact is indicated when the Rishi declares that the trunk is Ananda.
So total is उसको आनंद नाम दे दिया, कि क्या चीज से आनंद आता है, उसका डिग्री अलग हो सकती है, मगर आनंद ही है वो. So we can look at it that way.
In the above narration of joy and the bliss personality in man, though we explained it as the joys experienced through the acquisition, possession, and enjoyment of the sense objects, when we view it closely, we find that all bliss springs from the same source, the Supreme Self. Bliss is the essential nature of man, and desire or sorrow is a condition when the flow of the self is choked by the powerful agitation of the mind. Possession of the beloved object in its varying degrees of satisfaction calms the mind. And to the degree the mind is calmed, to that degree beams of self's blissful light bursts upon the individual's cognition. This technique has been fully explained earlier.
So this may sound very complicated, but we have discussed it many times, that we think that the joy we experience through this acquisition, possession, and enjoyment, those three things, the Priya, Mod, and Pramod, we are getting this from the objects, but what Vedanta tells us, no. The bliss is of that Brahman, which is within you only. All what is happening is your mind has become quiet because you got that object. And why it became quiet? Because you had agitation in the mind. When the desire pops in the mind, okay, the mind gets disturbed. How it gets disturbed? Too many thoughts come in there. I want to get it. How do I get it? And जो लोग उसका रोड़ा बन जाते हैं ना, रास्ते का रोड़ा, मुझे कोई चीज चाहिए, फिर मैं उन पे गुस्सा होती हूँ कि you're not getting me this, that. All that hangama is happening in our head. And then when the thing you get, all of a sudden सारे thoughts शांत हो जाते हैं. और वो जो अंदर का bliss वो बाहर आ जाता है. That's all they are saying, that actually it is a bliss of God that we are experiencing. We think wrongly that is in the objects. That's what they're trying to tell you over here. That's all. And it is hard to kind of accept it, but once you start accepting, then they gave logic also. Previously we saw that same object does not give happiness to everybody. So then all those logics we have to go through. Basically, anytime I feel happiness, just remember storehouse is Bhagwan. Wahan se aa raha hai wo. That's all. That will be good enough right now.
Therefore, according to Vedanta, sense enjoyment is nothing but the bliss of the self that manifests itself at certain moments, the immediate cause being the possession of the particular object. This truth is upheld when the Rishi declares that the bliss personality in man is rooted in or founded upon Brahman.
So we saw uski pratishtha, uska base, uska source Brahman bataya hai ye Anand ka. That's what he's saying.
What has been said here is endorsed by the Vedas. The appropriate Veda mantra is quoted in the following section.
So that's a little bit complicated one that we will do it next time now. But I hope everybody understood that where the Anand is coming from and what is the final sheath and the categories that they talked about, the 3 categories.
So we really talked about Sat Chit Ananda. So we talked about the Ananda aspect
yes.
of it.
And, in one of the commentaries I heard, I think it was Nikhilanandji's, that Ananda motivates us to do everything in the world. Because when they say Bhagwan is that Gati, we all are looking for that Ananda only. And किसी को भी पूछा ना कि you want happiness और sadness, कोई भी नहीं बोलेगा sadness. सभी बोलेंगे मुझे happiness ही चाहिए. और कितनी चाहिए happiness? बहुत सारी चाहिए. कि किसी को तुम choice दो कि इतनी सी happiness दूं या बहुत कौन बोलेगा कि इतनी सी चाहिए? बोलेगा मुझको हर time चाहिए. Infinite happiness chahiye.
Infinite.
Yes. So we all actually, that is our nature and we are desperately looking for it. It's like a khoya hua bachcha who is like looking for the parents, in the mela. That's how we are in this world. We feel so insecure, so this, we're looking for that. जब बच्चा उंगली पकड़ लेता है अपने माँ बाप की तो कितना खुश होता है ना? That's what it is. Yes.
But that's what it is. We're looking outside for happiness.
Yeah, we're looking at the wrong places. Like the kid was thinking, मेले में कितना मजा है. फिर वो उसको याद है, अरे oh my God, मेरे parents कहाँ पे हैं? उसका सारा मजा चला गया फिर.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. Yes. So, any other comment, question before we end today's session? Okay, I guess everybody ready for lunch. All right. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Okay, we will see you next time on Zoom.
Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om.